going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. But first, stay on this one. So, as I mentioned before, you guys might have seen one of my more recent videos. 3 handguns that are better for home defense than concealed carry. And as I mentioned in that video, I will also be doing it invertedly, meaning 3 handguns that are better for concealed carry than home defense. So, let's get right into it. No more talking, no more beating around the bush. You saw the title, or you saw the thumbnail, you read the title, same thing, technically. Regardless, 3 handguns that are better for concealed carry than home defense. And of course, I will be going into why as well. So, for starters, we're talking the Glock 26. Now, once again, as I mentioned before in my previous video, where I mentioned the Glock 17 in this case, I almost forgot to mention that that doesn't just go for just that model, the 17. It goes for all full-size Glocks. Just like how in this case, it goes for all, I guess in this case would be subcompact Glocks. The Glock 26 has a standard capacity of 10+1 in the chamber, which is a decent capacity for concealed carry. That's not a capacity I would be ashamed of. Now, one of the things that makes the Glock 26 so good for something like concealed carry over home defense is due simply to its size. It is an extremely small, sorry, one of those nights, as you can imagine, it's my 4th video. It's an extremely small handgun, and with the capacity that it comes with, it's pretty damn solid for concealed carry. With the reliability that comes with a Glock 2, oh, you couldn't do much better. That's just the truth of the matter here. The fact that the Glock 26, is also based off the same double stack platform, for example, as like the 17, the 19, whatever, means that you can fit those mags in the Glock 26 as well. So that essentially ups your spare magazine capacity to a whole nother level. Instead of, you're worrying about, 10+1 in the chamber, that's 11, and then a spare 10. No, you can have 10+1 in the chamber plus a 17 with a +2 base plate on it. So now you're looking at 30. See how big of a difference that is right there? That's a huge difference right there. Great for its size for concealed carry, as I mentioned before. It does not have a rail on it for you to attach a light. With how small it is, it's definitely not going to be the most comfortable to shoot. And let's be 100% honest here. When we're talking about home defense, you want to be as comfortable as possible when you're defending your home. Why is that? Because you have the opportunity to grab the best gun to make it as easiest as possible. And if you're going for a handgun, to go for the Glock 26 for your home defense might just do you a misdeed. Now, I know there are some gunsmiths that you can send your Glock 26 off to. They can, there's some lights you can attach on there. Whatever. It's not a very common, thing to see, and it's really, to get a good light on it is basically impossible. So to even try to consider the Glock 26 something you would look at for home defense seems out of the question for me without a doubt. Now, next, and this one is going to upset some people. And why is that? Because since I've talked about it, I've done nothing but praise it. It's going to be my next concealed carry gun, the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus. A phenomenal concealed carry gun. Damn near the new gold standard. I say damn near because no matter what, I still do feel that any compact Glock probably will, if I had to choose between the two, I'll probably choose the compact Glock over the M&P Shield Plus. Why is that? Is simply due to the Glock name and reliability that comes with it. However, the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus is also a phenomenal gun. As I said, I'm going to be having that as my next concealed carry weapon. Let me see here. Just like with the Glock 26, you do get a good few options when it comes to magazine capacity. I believe it is 10+1, 13+1, and then 15+1. With that, level of capacity, once again, you're looking at a really solid, capacity if we're carrying an extra mag with us for concealed carry. By itself, though, I mean, even with the 15-round mag, It's not the best for home defense, in my opinion. Partly for, you'll see a common theme here. And just like you saw a common theme with the videos that, with the video about the guns that are better for home defense and concealed carry, the common theme there with size, it'll be a common theme you see here. While it has a great trigger on it, while it has a good capacity, while Smith & Wesson is a great and reliable company, it honestly is just too small, in my opinion, to be a home defense gun. The reason why I say that is due to the fact that with size comes the ability to manage recoil easier. Why are you going to be able to manage the recoil easier? Because there's more weight to the gun to help absorb it. That's the truth of the matter here. Like, I don't know how else to explain it to you guys other than that. A full-size gun will always be much easier to shoot than any form of compact, micro compact, subcompact, whatever gun will ever be. That's just how it works. There's no going around that. And while the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus might be a phenomenally shooting gun, as I mentioned before, it has one of the best triggers I've ever felt in a concealed carry gun. It simply doesn't have what you would need for home defense, in my opinion. It doesn't, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It doesn't pack that power, I guess you would say. And I don't mean like the round or anything along those lines. I simply just mean that with what the M&P Shield Plus was designed for, to use it for home defense would be trying to overstretch it, in my opinion. It would be trying to overstretch beyond its capabilities, in my opinion. Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, the M&P Shield Plus doesn't even have a Rail 4A light as well, which that's a big deal in home defense. If you guys keep wondering why I go back to the light as well, that means you guys need to check out my other video. I believe the video was either 3 or 5 things that your every home defense pistol needs. It was one of the numbers. I can't remember if it was 3 or 5. However, one of those that I had on there was a weapon mounted light. You want to be able to see what you're shooting at when you're defending your home. And if your gun is so small that it's not going to be able to hold a light, or you're going to have to, send it off to have a light specially put on there or some shit, and the light's not going to end up being strong enough to what you need, there's no point. There's no point in trying to use it for home defense. If it's the only gun you have, of course, that's a more understandable situation. However, if you have choices, or you're saying, you know what, I only have one gun in particular, I'm looking for, another option for this, particular situation, then yeah, you know what I mean? These guns wouldn't be the best bet for you when it comes to like home defense. You see what I mean? You have options here. If you're in a situation where it's your only gun, then by all means, any gun is better than no gun. Remember that, guys. Now, with that being said, that takes us to our third handgun that, while being great for concealed carry, is not great for home defense. Sorry, my dog just walked into the damn wall for a second, and that kind of just threw me off. But as I was saying before, it is the Ruger LCP Max. Now, I'm sure some of y'all are thinking in your head, well, that's kind of a shortcut. Why would you even, mention that? Obviously, that gun is better for concealed carry than home defense. Well, guys, this is the first video I'm doing on this, so remember that I do also have to point out the very obvious ones as well. The Ruger LCP Max, while being a great concealed carry gun, nowhere near what you want for home defense. If I'm not mistaken, it's either 10 or 12 rounds of 380, which, isn't a bad capacity. It really isn't. 380s, a low recoil round. However, due to it being a low recoil round, it also doesn't perform ballistically as well as you would like it to. And that's where it kind of, brings up an issue for me. Here's a perfect example is when I carry my Ruger LCP, not the LCP2 or the LCP Max, I carry the Ruger LCP. When I carry my LCP, I carry FMJs. Do I think, it'd be better if I carried hollow points for it? Sure. Am I going to go out of my way at any point in time just to buy hollow points for it to carry? Probably not. And the main reason why that is because I'm not too worried about 380 over penetrating and going through and hitting somebody else or damaging someone else's property. It just isn't that powerful of a round. It is a good round to have on you as like a backup. It's much better than a 22, for example. But my whole point, though, is that regardless of how good the capacity is and how low recoil 380 is, if it's not going to pack the oomph that you need to stop somebody in their tracks, it's probably not going to be your best bet for home defense. As I mentioned before, concealed carry like a backup gun, yeah, sure, that's a complete different situation. But we're talking about home defense. This is your chance to pick the best gun possible to defend your home with out of all the options you have. Why would you want to go to, I believe, as I said before, I could be mistaken, it's either 10 or 12 rounds of 380 ACP. Why would you want to go to that? Now, I could see this being, something possibly useful for, older people, maybe people with arthritic hands or whatever. 380 is a low recoil round. However, it is still a decently small handgun. So it's not like it's not going to be it's not like it's going to be super fun to shoot. I mean, hell, I hate shooting my LCP. You see what I mean? It's just, they're snappy because it's a smaller gun. It's a gun that is designed for concealed carry. That's just what the truth of the matter here is. People like to argue, oh, well, whatever I use for, my home defense gun is my home defense gun. Yeah, sure. I'm not saying that, it's impossible to use any of these guns for home defense. I'm just saying that if you have other options at your disposal and you're choosing these options, you are doing yourself a misdeed. You are not doing yourself a service. You are negatively impacting how you could defend your home. Now, with that being said, I think that about wraps it up for this video. As I said before, Glock 26, excuse me, the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus, and the Ruger LCP Max, while all being great guns, phenomenal concealed carry guns, extremely reliable as well. Are they the most optimal for home defense? No, not at all. And there are much better options out there, and there's no other way to put it. There's much better options out there. While those might be some of the best for concealed carry, they definitely don't even reach where the top dogs of home defense are, I guess is the best way to say it. Now, with that being said, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And whether you agree with me or not, make sure to check out all my other videos. And here's the thing. If you don't agree with me, if you disagree with me, and you think that any of these guns I mentioned would be great home defense guns, go ahead and try comparing them to the video I did previously of 3 handguns that would be great for home defense, or excuse me, that are better for home defense than concealed carry. Go ahead and check it out. Just get some ideas from there and then come back and try comparing the two. Now, with that being said, as I mentioned before, whether you agree with me or not, make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.